Pretty good. Maybe tired a little bit in the end. His ball cut a little bit in the end, which it usually doesn't do, so something we'll have to look at. But I thought he was pretty good tonight.
You talked a lot about the command prior to the game, that it just wasn't there, and you were hoping he'd have his whole arsenal. How different did that arsenal look tonight?
I thought it was better. I thought he had all his pitches today. You saw some really good fastballs down in the zone. And I just thought his stuff overall was better.
Brendan?
You have a couple off days coming up. Do you expect to stick with a fifth starter?
I haven't really changed. I haven't planned on making any changes, no.
Over against the wall.
Do you have to say anything to a young pitcher after what he was able to do in the seventh? He's probably going to be thinking about that one inning instead of the first six.
No, I mean, we all congratulated him. He's pretty happy he got his first win. I'm sure that, he'll think about that, but that's okay. I mean, that's part of the game. I didn't see him hanging his head or, I thought if it was affecting him, I would say something, but I think he'll be fine.
Billy?
A couple weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, you were 1-4, and you've won 8 straight now with, missing some pretty significant pieces. I guess if somebody had told you that, would you've been surprised that you'd put together this kind of streak with what you've had?
It's so much of it depends on your starting pitching. It really does, and we've pitched extremely well, and that has been the key in this 8-game winning streak. There's a lot of good players in that clubhouse and guys that can pick up the slack and have experience. And, I think if you're to tell any manager that you're going to win 8 in a row, you're going to sign up for it right away. Because it doesn't happen, all the time. But, I still felt good. I knew we had some key pieces down. I did, but I felt like if we could get our starting pitching going, we'd be okay.
Anthony and Joe.
In spring training, when no one really had stepped up yet for the 4th and 5th spots, was there any thought of going out and looking for veteran arms or signing a guy, making a deal? Were you committed to the guys you had in camp?
That's not my job. And B, I was committed to finding and figuring it out with the people that we had in that clubhouse. That's my job. And, it was weird. They all had a good first start. And then it was all like they all had rough second starts, and then someone had a good third, and the next guy had a bad, and they flip-flopped it the next time. And that's kind of how Jordan really surfaced, in a sense. We knew he was a good young pitcher, but I think our plans were that he was going to, probably start in AAA and continue to develop. But he continued to pitch well and continued to shine and pushed his way through.
Joe?
Sorry, Joe. You mentioned his stuff. I wonder if you also see poise, getting a couple of double plays when he needed it, executing kind of what you asked for, right? Better fastball location today and getting deeper into a game. And just a follow-up to that would be, when did you first see that in him? Was that something in spring as well?
Yeah, because I really hadn't seen much of him, Joel. I'd seen some tape, but you kind of really want to see swings and how hitters react. I mean, that's the fair way for me to judge players. And I think he does have a lot of poise. And I think part of that probably goes to being the Friday night pitcher at South Carolina, pitching in a College World Series, and there being high expectations for your team. And, I know it's not pitching in Yankee Stadium, but, pitching in the College World Series is a pretty big deal. And there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of emotions, and you have to learn how to control that. And he had been through that, and I felt that would help him.
George?
Joe, Adams' last inning aside, does he give you something that you didn't possibly have for the first 3 or 4 months last year?
Yeah. I mean, he's a bridge. He's a fill-in a sense, the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, whatever I need. He just gives me a lot of versatility to our bullpen. And I think that piece is really extreme, that is really important to have a really good bullpen, a guy that can do that and handle a number of different roles.
Anyone else? Harp, yep.
Did you know Judge could get down the line like that when he beat that ball?
I mean,
did the White Sox know it?
Well, I'm sure they did. They scout people all the time too. You know, sometimes you look at his size and you think, you know, you got a defensive end out there, but I mean, defensive ends run pretty good too.